Billy Crystal, for that impression of a black person.
This call out for Billy Crystal's blackface always makes me laugh.
I'm Scott Wolf.
And I'm Matthew Fox.
Wolf being the fox, and Fox being the wolf. Also, this is actually Scott Wolf here. Nice cameo. And I like to think that because they couldn't get Matthew Fox to do a cameo, they made his character, like, deranged on purpose.
This is my better half, Katrina Peanut Butter. Katrina, Bojack?
I don't watch TV. Can I get another drink now, or will that quote-unquote embarrass you?
It's smart to have Katrina here to show Mr. Peanut Butter's previously failed marriages, as a large fissure appears in his current one throughout this episode.
Erica, throw me a raft. I'm dying.
I love this use of Erica. There's nothing in there about her appearance. She is merely used as a life raft.
Hey, boys. What is this? A crossover episode?
That is the funniest thing I have ever heard!
The source of the crossover episode gag. What a piece of lore this is. The long-ass Foundation subtitle on the plane. Panda Am is a great animal-themed spoof of Pan Am. Nice update on the Kirk Cameron show that Wanda greenlit when she was first introduced. I guess the idea wasn't that fresh after all. Also a nice little preview into how the network really needs successes right now. It's why Mr. Peanut Butter is so insistent later on.
The Republic of Cordovia's Prince Gustav visiting Los Angeles this week while his country rests on the brink of civil war.
God, I love this side storyline. It might be my favorite Todd story. They don't even need to address anything about his appearance. You just know exactly what is about to happen.
Howdy, Hank Hippopopoulos.
Oh, we've met.
Nice payoff for that joke about taking forever to develop pictures. No way to know how it turns out, and of course it's terrible.
So my question is, do you think Israel has a right to defend herself? And what part should the U.S. play as an ally?
Oh.
Well, the thing about that, I don't know.
Yep. Good portrayal of how difficult it is to win when addressing that conflict in the public eye, but anyway, Palestine is a real country and Israel is perpetrating genocide with the US's support. Just had to throw that out there.
It's a shame that Arafat walked away from the table in 2000. I mean, obviously there's no panacea, but a two-state solution with an emphasis on human rights feels like a place to begin.
I love Bojack being able to subvert expectations and answer this intelligently, even though he's not really saying anything of substance. He's basically just like, it would be great if. Oh, I get it. He's doing what every politician does.
My question is for Diane
You're not going to get it. Just ask a question.
One of my favorite recurring jokes.
Bojack's not perfect. There are plenty of other celebrities who have done much worse things, and it hasn't hurt their careers.
Like who?
I don't know, like Mike Tyson, or Sean Penn, or Josh Brolin, or Christian Slater, Woody Allen, Hank Hippopopoulos, Bill Murray.
It's wild how many of the actors listed here are still performing in real life. Diane is right to bring this very long list up of abusers that Hollywood constantly defends. I'd throw in Brad Pitt too. It's crazy that a mainstream show can call these people out and then still nothing happens. I love that the book topics in the room are all so stereotypical Alaskan things. Mushing, glaciers, Russia, Palin. You also really have to give them credit for always packing the room with location-appropriate animals wherever they go on this book tour.
But he was quickly found buying chili in Beverly Hills. His official statement was, yeah, I'm the Prince of Cordovia. Hooray, being a prince.
Delivering a Todd line in an extremely monotone, serious voice is a genius way to put a new spin on Todd shenanigans.
Who is this anonymous Diane Nguyen, and what does she have against our beloved hippopotamus?
What do you mean anonymous? You just said her name. Vox Populi is a fantastic pun. For those unaware, it's a pun on Vox Populi, which means the voice of the people.
Joining me now is hippopotamus apologist and armchair sociologist Cardigan Burke.
So much great assonance and punnery this episode.
These allegations are so crazy, I can't even say them on TV or I'll sound like a crazy person. What I want to know is why we're letting a national treasure face the same kind of smear tactics used by the Viet Cong.
Great representation of American media here, too. This woman, with no actual credible titles or experience, likely hired by Hank's publicist or agent, is on the actual news, using blatant racism to distract from valid claims of sexual assault. Doesn't help that they even pronounce her name wrong.
Some website called Tit Puncher is saying you said some stuff about Hank Hippopopoulos.
They really nail the incel rhetoric with the website named Tit Puncher and the type of articles that would be promoted by that type of site. There's also so many great puns and wacky dialogue choices in this article, along with this very accurate commentary. I love specifically specifically that they put biographer in quotes to try to undermine Diane's actual credentials, you know, the ones she definitely does have as opposed to Cardigan Burke, when it's literally undeniable that she is an official biographer and has published several successful books. One of them won a Golden Globe.
Believe me, nothing would make me happier than for this to just go away.
Great. I love you too.
Nice little hint about him not really listening to Diane's needs here. What do you mean, I love you too? Our conversation wasn't over.
Friend of Peanut Man and lover of Federated American States. No reason for suspicions. Come on.
I love that Aaron Paul is willing to do such a wacky and fun dual performance for this episode. Seeing him as Prince Gustav is really such a treat. More extremely catered book sections to the state that they're in.
Yeah, you make these broad accusations to get attention for yourself, and when you don't have proof to back it up, you just slink away. Isn't that what happened with all those assistants? They took his money, and they don't even care they could be ruining a man's life.
What? They ruined his life?
Accurate representation of how people criticized these women. Diane didn't even make the allegations. She just pointed out that they existed. So wild that people actually think this way, too. Like, oh yeah, they just want his money and to ruin his life. The poor billionaire loses a few million because he merely violated someone's body. Poor him for his hard life. Not to mention that y'all make it so bad for anyone who speaks up against a popular abuser. Why would anyone choose to do so? Quite literally opening themselves up to hate by shitheads like you. So why would anyone want that? Because I can assure you I don't want to be talking to you. Get some therapy and learn how to empathize, please. Why are we blindly trusting billionaires? They lie all the time. Nice little gag about Todd shenanigans and the ticker at the bottom. Plus some great animal gags down there. And some alarming news about the hold Chicken for Days has over the media.
Everyone says he's a really nice guy.
Good point.
That's exactly the problem.
A good point that has absolutely no factual backing or even source for an opinion. Just people are saying we have the best numbers, the greatest numbers. I mean, they say they've never seen numbers like we're seeing right now. Who's saying that? Just people.
Because he's so nice, people don't want to think he's capable of awful things, so they let him off the hook.
Diane makes a great point here. Celebrities often use charisma to shield from these awful lives they lead because it leads us to not want to believe they could be so terrible since they seem so nice. We attach ourselves to these celebrities, especially the ones who are generally cordial, for doing the bare minimum. And because of that, when someone accuses them of something that doesn't fit with that perception, we try to deny it sometimes. Excellent gag on the ticker about the effectiveness of police body cams. They just abuse them for their own benefit anyway. I love the Lifetime movie that's playing out at the embassy with Todd in charge. So many great little jokes followed by extremely alarming developments in Cordovia.
Who are these women? Have they ever shoplifted, perhaps? Do they wear short shorts? Do they drink alcohol? All these things are possible. We don't know the facts.
And of course, here comes a useless scrutinization of every choice the victims made before the actual abuse. Classic move to defend abusers and discredit witnesses, even if there's 8 of them saying the exact same thing. God, enough, ticker. I'm trying to focus on the scene. Stop having funny original gags every 2 seconds.
Sometimes she just whips herself into a frenzy and she loses all perspective.
God damn it, Honeydew! Jesus, why does Cantaloupe think every time it gets invited to a party, it can bring along its dumb friend Honeydew?
Appropriate reactions to Honeydew. It just gets its horribleness over all of the actually good fruit. Margot Martindale gets a brief update on her prison sentence before her return in a couple episodes. I love how they keep coming back to this sign at different points in this episode, and it's just never done because of the cumbersome title. Oh, the animal gags just never get old, do they?
Diane, I want you to meet Amanda Hannity, editor-in-chief here at Vanity Fair.
One of my favorite animal-themed businesses on this show.
No, yes, turtleneck. You're fired.
Okay.
So many great jokes about the fashion and magazine industry, but this chart of what's in and what's out is probably my favorite here. No wonder they're getting involved. Empathy is suddenly fashionable.
I feel like I've been alone in a crazy alternate universe these last few days.
Well, you know I've got your back, right? We women have got to stick to, hey, a fruit plate.
Princess Carolyn subtly revealing that she's not exactly all in it for the women at this point. Lots of people are just doing this to attach themselves to a professional project for monetary or personal gain.
We're not supposed to have opinions. We're just supposed to smile and look pretty. No, this model doesn't look as pretty as the other one. Can we kill it?
Fantastic way to show hypocrisy.
Are you kidding me with this honeydew right now? Oh,
I love that they circle back to it. Like, someone in this writer's room really hates Honeydew, and then someone else convinced them to put propaganda in the last episode. I don't give a shit if it's a metaphor for Bojack changing. Honeydew is just flat out gross. You had your first opinion correct.
Nicole?
Fantastic lighting in this scene, extremely creepy and menacing. And also, in my opinion, quite symbolic, with Nicole standing in the darkness, Hippopotamus casting his shadow over her, and Diane being the light, offering her a way out that she unfortunately does not take. It's a really well-composed scene.
Hello, Diane. Thank you, Nicole.
This actually made my stomach drop. It's wild how quickly they're able to turn this warm figure into someone so terrifying. But with Diane alone in a vacant parking garage and this huge man staring her down, you really start to fear for her safety. And it shows you how that persona that he puts out is not even remotely close to his actual personality.
Reforms which could lead to sweeping change in the embattled region or a precipitous economic collapse. But back to our main story, what is Diane's problem?
So accurate how an entire country is collapsing across the sea, but all the news cares about is one woman saying a man is actually a serial predator.
This is me doing you a favor.
I think you are scared of me.
I'm not a bad guy, Diane, and I truly do believe that. 24 hours from now, the news cycle will move on to something else. I'll go back to hosting my dance show, which employs hundreds of nice, good, hardworking people.
See, this is also a great representation about how abusers and people who commit horrific acts can convince themselves that they're actually still the hero of their own story somehow, actually still a good person. Maybe deep down, as Bojack tried to do at the beginning of this series. But no, they're not. I mean, employing people does not automatically make you a good person, but I mean, they'll continue try using that as a shield.
You, on the other hand, are pretty much done. People love me, and they're not gonna forgive you for this.
This isn't about me.
If you keep pushing this, you're gonna drag down the people close to you. Look, you had your fun, so why don't you call it a day and go home to your husband?
So many relevant portrayals of how abusers attempt to take control over their victims, diminishing Diane's position and the truth of what she's saying, threatening to hurt those she cares about. It's all so textbook and well written.
I know who you are.
Sweetheart, everyone knows who I am. I'm Hank Hippopopoulos. Who the hell are you?
Philip Baker Hall kills this role. The absolute venom behind who the hell are you gets me right in my core. His need to assert his power over this woman who threatens his position, to assuage that fear that Diane innately causes because he knows she is the one who is telling the truth, not him. And he will never be able to move past that unless he admits exactly what he's done.
I had a conversation with my bosses at AOL, Time Warner, PepsiCo, Viacom, Halliburton, Skynet, Toyota, Trader Joe's.
More great commentary on the growing involvement and consolidation of corporate power. Also cute Statue of Liberty.
It's just not a good time.
I love how ashamed of herself she looks here. She's gonna tell herself that she did the right thing, that she can do more good if she keeps her job. It's better to have a woman in charge, but she knows at the end of the day that what she did was wrong.
So this has nothing to do with the fact that AOL, Time Warner, PepsiCo, Viacom, Halliburton, Skynet, Toyota, Trader Joe's also owns MBN and is currently profiting off of Hank Hippopopoulos' good reputation?
Oh, and by the way, this is exactly how corpo oligarchy affects free speech. It's kind of going on like right now in America, but you know, don't worry about it. It's cool. Own the libs.
This life is nice for visit, but no way for live. I go now. Back to palace!
The reveal of the bald spot always gets me to laugh. Clever window cleaning company. I love when animals are just like uniquely suited to jobs. Kind of like sucks for them that they are pigeonholed into these roles, but it probably does make their life relatively very much easier. Love the bee-themed bodega with their natural honey. By the way, abeja is bee in Spanish. Can you not? Nice animal-themed Obama poster in the background. I love all of these, like, politically relevant gags that they do in the background.
And a genocide may or may not have been perpetrated in my name. You know, maybe you heard about it on the news?
No, most of the news has been about Diane and Hank Hippopopoulos.
What? Why?
so accurate. There's an entire genocide going on, and no one is even aware of it, just riled up by anger over this random woman instead.
This is really serious.
Oh, of course, your thing is serious, and my thing is just a dumb feminist trying to get attention by attacking a famous man. Is that it?
What? No.
I found this interaction very telling in particular, as there's a really common trend, especially online, for people who are technically on the same side and definitely care about the same issues to turn on each other for perceived differences in the amount of care they give to certain issues, where Todd, of course, would absolutely side with Diane if explained the whole scenario, but him simply stating that something else going on is very important kind of gets misconstrued and lost in translation, where Diane interprets it, because of all the negativity that's been leveled toward her, as an affront, and her being, like she says, a typical woman over complaining, when he's not trying to minimize other conflicts, he's just trying to express the importance of the one he just escaped from.
I am always on your side.
Really? Like when you wrote that book? Was that you being on my side?
You got everything you wanted because of that book. You were a joke. Now people take you seriously. You were out of work, now you got your dream role.
Okay, yes, all of that is true. But also, you were my friend, and you hurt my feelings. And it's weird that you never apologized for that. And that you still won't.
I like that Bojack addresses this. It's important to note, even if Diane did do what he asked, it was a complicated situation with Bojack flinging a lot of negativity her way as well, but she did owe him an apology. And I appreciate that they took the time to work this out for this relationship going forward, because it was quite a betrayal and hurt Bojack very deeply.
Earlier, some general asked me if it was a go on that thing we talked about, and I said yes, and he said, God help us all, and left the room. Now, I'm not sure that was the right answer.
This has to be the darkest Todd storyline of them all. Seriously? Like, I think this is worse than the clown dentist. What did he do?
Someone had to say something, right? And that someone had to be you? Because why? I really don't get it. What is accomplished by you being the one to take a stand on this? This game show is a really big deal for me. And I know that sounds stupid to you and small, but I need this to go well, and I can't. Those are death threats. People want to murder my wife.
I think it's pretty fitting and fascinating that in this episode about giving women stronger platforms, Mr. Peanut Butter makes this entire situation about him and his own needs. You know, at first I kind of didn't see it this way, and I always interpreted this episode as it showing how Diane's over-involvement in social issues can cause damage to her personal relationships and perhaps her sense of self. But in reality, why are Diane's needs less important than Mr. Peanut Butter's? Why is his job as a game show host more important than the lives of all of these women? Why does he need that platform? I get it's going to be fun for him, but this is really important to who Diane is and her values as a human. And Mr. Peanut Butter not being able to see that fundamentally is a big sign that this relationship is not going to work out. Diane actually getting that giant Toblerone bar.
Hank, I have to ask, did you do it?
No, I did not.
Well, that's good enough for me. Coming up, Kanye West claims to hate Thin Mints? Our panel is outraged.
And that's all it takes for them to clear their name. Unbelievable how quickly we move on from these issues to talk about the most useless shit. I don't want to hear news about a Kardashian ever again. Ever. I truly could not care less, okay? Give me actual news, because, you know, our world is kind of crumbling. Don't really care about the new diamond ring she got, but...
Hey, smile.
Such a depressing, but very real ending. Not much has been fixed or changed by Diane's behavior or efforts throughout this entire episode, no matter how hard she fought or how much damage because of that fight was done to her personal life. She hasn't made a difference, and the world continues acting this way, despite her attempts to control it or rein it in. The media just keeps marching forward, and many men continue to behave poorly and don't know how to treat women with respect. There's a lot of weight hate in this sigh from Diane, so much frustration that I think speaks to the extremely divisive place America is still in right now with regard to gender politics. There's a lot of women in the writer's room for this show, and you can really see that shine through in this episode where we get a really concrete perspective on what it's like to be a woman in this country, on what it's like to care about other women's health in this country, and how difficult it can be to watch people just blatantly ignore or defend people who hurt them. It's a really depressing episode, honestly. I'm not sure this one really does end with a positive message. You know, not all Bojack episodes do. A lot of them are just trying to point out some injustices, some problems with our society, with how it affects us as people. And I think there are definitely ways to cope with this, but it is an important message to convey nonetheless. But if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/PosiTVty. That's PosiTVty. There you get all these videos before they come out on YouTube. You get to choose exactly what you want to see on the channel, and you get the unedited essays, so you can hear all of my mistakes. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff, because we really appreciate all the support on YouTube as well. But thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you all. See you for the next video.